Hello, and welcome to We're Golden, where we recap the Golden Bachelor from a golden perspective. I'm Kim Hodges, Content Kim, and I'm 60,
I am Jody Harrison Bauer, 63.
and we're giving you that authentic baby boomer take on America's latest TV obsession, Golden Bachelor. Let's get into it.
I loved that intro, Kim. That was really good.
I didn't have to do it 5 times.
That was the best intro ever. Um, this was such a great show. I knew the hometowns were something we were going to be very excited to watch, and there was just so much that happened.
Yes. So let me ask you this really quick. Since I don't watch a lot of the other Bachelors, it's been a long time. Do they generally do 3 hometowns in one show? Because they're usually 2 hours long, right?
Right. So I think they do for everybody listening. I think they do three hometowns because then they eliminate one and then they go to men tells all or women tells all, which is what we're going to have next week. And then the two that he picks go to the fantasy suites, and one of them he proposes to.
Oh yeah, the only one fantasy suite?
Two.
Two. Okay, okay.
Both girls, the two women, he
In the
chooses.
same night? In the same night?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, the other person has to like walk around the island or wherever they go. They usually go to some exotic place. And yeah, they just have to sit around wondering like what happened in the fantasy suite. Did anything happen? Yeah, like can you imagine?
No. No, not after tonight.
I know.
I
No,
cannot imagine.
it did not disappoint today. I have to say that today was one of the more juicier episodes.
It was for me too. I didn't feel like, I mean, I felt like everything was just really honest and everyone was putting it out there, which made it really hard. But it was fun to meet their families.
All right, so we like to find out what the scoop is on the ladies who leave the show the week before. So we have some dirt on Susan and Sandra and April.
Yes. So Susan, she did a big long interview, and one of the questions they asked her was, "What was your dating like pre-Golden Bachelor?" And she said she'd been on dating sites, that she'd never been stood up, but she believes they call it ghosting now, which I don't know if that means now I don't know if that means she's been ghosted now, but um,
I don't understand how the ghosting comment goes with the other things, but
yeah. So I think she was just, maybe she was trying not to sound old and saying, I've never been stood up, but now it's not called stood up. Maybe
right,
it's
it's
called
called
ghosting or
ghosting.
something.
Right,
Yeah.
right, that's
She
true.
said she's found that people that on the sites that she's been on, she has found that people are not who they really are,
Uh,
which that's
uh,
frustrating. Yeah.
that
And
happens
she
to
said,
them.
she says, I mean, I love being in love and I really tried, but I believe after this show, it cured me. I always thought I was that woman that needed a man. And now I realize I am that woman that a man needs, which I
I
think that's so cool. She figured that out.
I love that she says that. That's a confident woman, and she's absolutely right. She's when remember when the show started, I said to you, I hope that they don't all say, "Oh, I hope he falls in love with me." We were hoping that it wasn't all about whether they like him or not. They want to be picked, and they showed us that was the cool thing about these women is that they showed us that if they didn't feel a connection, they left.
Yeah. They were like, I'm out of here.
Right, right. And
But you liked Susan from the very beginning,
I
and I
did.
didn't. I was just kind of like, and I hate to say this, I was kind of judging her, like the way that she looks. It took me a while to get to her personality. Then
Right.
once you see her personality, you're like, she's beautiful.
Oh my God, she's beautiful. She's wonderful. There are a lot of people talking about whether or not she's going to be the next Golden Bachelorette, but
Did you see on her Instagram page she posted pictures of herself when she was younger? Damn, she was
gorgeous,
really pretty.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she posted a side by side of her and Chris Jenner.
Oh yeah, yeah. So she's got wit and she can make fun of herself.
Yeah, yeah. That's to me that all reads confidence. Like there was nothing that read to me that she was not confident. Look, we're all insecure about something,
Yeah.
but she was. I don't know, she was just really easy to be around, and she was there for the ladies. I don't know, I really liked her. She was like the best friend.
Yes.
And then for Sandra, one of the things that we talked about was when she stayed and blew off her daughter's wedding.
Yeah.
You said, well, maybe if it was a second marriage, and we didn't know. And I think we were both thinking, we weren't thinking that she's 75 and that she probably has a child who's in her 50s. And that's what this article was. It said, despite her elimination, Sandra revealed in an interview with Entertainment Tonight that she did not regret her decision to miss her daughter's wedding. She must have gotten a lot of shit about that.
She
Her
must
daughter's wedding to appear on The Golden Bachelor. My son-in-law said to me, Mom, the ceremony is 8 minutes. The marriage is forever. He said, go, go. She told the outlet earlier this month. My daughter said, Mom, I found my guy. You go find yours. I think you said that another week. They were both a little perturbed that I was even considering not going because of their wedding. They'd each been married before. She's almost 51 and he's 53. So these are grown ass people.
Yeah.
And like,
It's not like our kids in their 30s. I mean, like, I think that's what I picture these women being. I mean, some of them are our
yeah.
age. So,
Well,
yeah.
they are our age, right? That's right. Except for Sandra is 15 years older than you, Kim. So if
Yeah.
you took Alex, she would be 15 years older. That would make her 45.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Wow. 15 years is going to blow by fast.
So you'll be 75 and your daughter will be 45, right? You had her when you were 30?
Yes.
Oh, I know. I know.
She's so young. She'll be still so young. Like 30s were the prime. I felt like 35 was like the bomb.
I liked 35 also.
Yeah.
But you had your two kids already by then.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, me too. But
Yeah.
I liked my mid 30s. My best age, I think, was like 38. It was like
Yeah. It was just, those were the best years. I still, 35 to 45 were just like awesome. Yep.
yeah. My
Okay.
I loved my 40s too, but yeah, it was a different time for me because I was in suburbia and then I was divorced, so it was all very different, different, different experiences. And then we both listened to an interview that April was on today,
And
and
who was the guy she was on there with?
Nick Viat.
And
So
he was a bachelor?
he was on the Bachelorette, two seasons of the Bachelorette, and he was a bachelor.
Oh, wow.
He's
Okay.
really ingrained, and I think he was in Bachelor in Paradise also.
Oh, wow.
He's like really like in Bachelor Nation. And so he had April on the show. I really loved the way she was. I loved the way she answered the questions. And you pointed out a few things that we both agreed we liked about her, right?
Yes. Well, what we liked about her was she was just so, first of all, she's very articulate.
She is.
Yes. And then the second, I mean, and everything that she said was just spot on. I mean, there's some of the things that she said that I may be like, well, okay, I don't know if I would go into the whole reincarnation thing like that. And I'm not into astrology and things like that. But everything else she said, I was like, you go, girl.
And Nick says to her something about um, what is what is the most incredible story you've never shared with anybody or something like that, or your love story or something. And she thought it was leading up because she thought he knew about her affair with Frankie Valli, but he did not.
How did I miss that? I listened to the interview twice.
No
Yes.
way.
Yes, I did.
He
What
asked
did he say?
one of the very last questions, maybe the second or third question before they went on to taking calls from the people who called in the show for love advice. Um, he asked her something about something we don't know, and she thought that was a lead into the Frankie Valley. She's like, well, you know about the book I wrote. Now she said the name of the book. You said you read somewhere that it was Good Girls Do Cry.
Yeah, that was what they said the name of it was. I think it was even on Amazon as
And
that.
she said the name of her book was, there's another Frankie Valley song, and it was another title from another song. And of course, I can't think of what it is right now. And
Okay. I'm looking at it right here. It says Big Girls Do Cry by April Kirkwood.
but she wrote another book, she said.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah, tell me.
Big Girls Do Cry. So there's two different versions of the Kindle edition. No, I don't see another one, but maybe it's not on here yet.
Well, she wrote it back when she wrote the other book, and what she said, she didn't say it was the name of that book, so I thought I was confused about that, and again, it was off of, like, another song title, and she said she very much regrets writing the book. She said she was a woman scorned, and she said, "There is no wrath like a woman scorned," and she said she wished that she had just written it, put it away, looked at it, put it away, and then locked it away because she feels badly that it hurt him so much. But I guess he must have really broken her heart and she was pissed and she was young and she said she was a bit of an egomaniac and she let her ego lead the way and all that other stuff.
Did he break her heart? No,
That's
did that did no, no, did it really hurt him?
that's what she said. She said
I
the
mean,
book hurt his feelings and those
oh,
were
hurt his feelings.
hurt his feelings.
Oh, see that she's too nice. Hurt his feelings?
Yes.
Hers weren't hurt.
I don't know. I think she was probably in love with him.
Well, that's what I mean. Hers were really hurt. He hurt her feelings.
Yeah.
Sorry, you hurt my
Well, I
feelings.
think that's how she felt when she wrote the book, but now as a grown-up, mature woman, maybe she's like, "I wish I hadn't written that book."
Yeah, but maybe he shouldn't have been involved with someone so young.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So, we need to get her on the show and talk to her about this more
I
because
hope she made a ton of money off her book. That's all I got to say. And if she
well,
didn't then, I hope she does now.
and there was another thing that she said, she was talking about let's talk about what she said about Gary.
Okay, yes, that was very interesting. But I want to say something really quick.
Yeah,
Just like Susan said, and all the other girls that have left about how I needed, like, now I feel the confidence to go out and date, and I know I can. She also said she needed this kickstart because
yeah,
her lifelong partner, her partner had passed away, and it was really
yeah,
hard for her.
yeah,
So she
well,
said she needed this kickstart. Now I think she feels really good. Okay, so let's talk about what she saw, what she thought about Gary. But
well,
she said he was very kind, very nice, very polite, very much better looking in person than he showed up on screen.
right, because she first got a glimpse of him when he was on some morning TV
It's
show, and she's
yeah.
like I got the feeling
Ugh.
she's like, "Ugh, I don't know if he's my type."
Yeah.
And you're right, she said he's got great, beautiful blue eyes, but, there wasn't any chemistry at
Well,
all.
no chemistry, but what she said about that. So say what she said about what he did, how he acted.
Yeah, she said that, he just looked right past her, like she didn't feel seen by him at all, and she even wore some things that would have gotten the attention from a deaf, dumb, and blind man, Like, she
Yeah.
was wearing bunny ears, and he walks by her, and he doesn't say anything. She's got a bunny tail, and he doesn't say anything, and she said he would literally look right past her. He just wasn't into her, I think, and she's like, "Look, I'm young and I'm a little eccentric," and he's not.
Yeah. Now she's just a ball of fun
Yep.
and he's just more laid back. But she said that. She said he didn't get her jokes and stuff. So maybe he just was turned to shit a little bit. I don't know. But I liked what she said after that. She said, it doesn't matter whether you love this person, you want to get in the sack with this person, you want to go to dinner with this person, you don't really care to spend much more time with this person. It's still a person and you still make everyone feel comfortable when they're around you. You don't look through them and make them feel unseen.
For feeling dismissed, right? And I
Mhm.
think that's how she felt, and that's probably a
Like you
thing,
don't matter.
right? But that also might be an insecurity of hers, which is why she needs to be so out there. So maybe,
True.
you know, like I could see two sides. I'm not taking his side or her side, but I also know that when I have felt insecure and didn't think that the man that I was into was paying enough attention to me, I would think to myself, well, he's not doing enough to show me that he's into me, but maybe it's just really me that needs to be into me. to get a man, to have that man see me. So I think there's some insecurities there, but I also think that there wasn't. Does that make any sense?
Yes, except for she did say I mean, he wasn't basically her type, but she was just having fun. He could have still been a little more attentive when he was
I
talking to
agree.
her.
I
Yeah.
agree. And I think that's why she made believe that she hurt her ankle, which of course was adorable. We all loved her when she
Yeah,
did.
that was pretty cute.
It was. But even she's like, I just wanted to get a reaction from him for God's sake. He was just like blank when he looked at her and she thought, oh, well, I'll pretend I sprained my ankle and see what he does. And he did
That's
react.
so funny. He did react. But it's like, have you ever been at a party and you're talking to someone and they're just like looking over your shoulder to see who else is in the room, who they want to go talk to, and you're like, hello.
I remember being on dates with men like that, and I would never go out and see them again. And even my, I, kn- my oldest daughter does that sometimes, where I'm like, "Hello, we're here." Just-
It's okay if your daughter does it to you.
Right, right. But I mean, if you're on a date and the guy's looking over here all the time, you're like, "Well, why don't I just remove myself from the situation and you can go do something else?"
Yeah. Or you're just out with at a party with people and someone's doing that. That's a big telltale. You just kind of want to go, okay, asshole.
Right.
That, or you say something and then, like, have you ever, you're sitting there talking to somebody in a full conversation and they come up and just start talking to the other person and cut you off and you're like, well,
Oh,
okay.
I know. I know.
And it's always a guy that does it.
Very rarely does a woman do that. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't been to a cocktail party in a very long
I
time, but I do
don't think I
remember.
have either.
I do remember those days, and yeah, and I remember always. This is just a sidebar, but like remember getting stuck talking to a person you didn't want to talk to, and I know that I would do that. I would pretend that like maybe my husband was looking for me, and like I gotta go.
Yeah. Oh, there he is. He's leaving. I got to go. I always get stuck with the person who tells the longest stories and talks about everything. And I never get to leave the rest of the night. I'm stuck there literally the rest of the night. And it's my own fault. It even happened to me when at Alex's wedding. Joe came and grabbed me and I still couldn't go. Okay, so something else April said that I know you thought was interesting too. She said she didn't understand why he didn't do more with Ellen. And that she said, Ellen would have given Gerry a good lifestyle and a good life. That's like a big, like, I think that was a huge hint
Yeah.
somehow.
Does Ellen have a lot of money? Is that what she was hinting at? Was that
I don't
Ellen
know.
had some wealth and she lives in a lovely area in Florida. So
I
maybe
don't know. It was kind of like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking is that what Gerry was looking for, was sort of the hint I got from that, except for we'll see who he ends up with.
I didn't never got the feeling that he was looking for a sugar mama.
Okay. Okay. That was just me reading into what April was saying then.
But I think what April was saying was that Ellen was a good person for him. She would have given him a good life. She would have held him up on a pedestal. She
Yeah.
would have been a good wife and would have given him a good life because I just reading into it, she doesn't have any financial issues. She wouldn't be a financial burden to him because I
True.
don't know.
They could
And
travel back and forth. They both love pickleball. He really did screw up on that one, didn't he?
on Ellen,
Yeah. Now that I think about it.
that's
I
right.
mean, if he loves playing
The other two
pickleball
women
and
don't
hanging
play.
out,
The other three don't play pickleball.
no, they live completely different lifestyles than he does. The other three are all I've never heard this saying before that April said. Have you heard this? He's thinking with the kitchen.
I did not understand that. Even Nick said, I've never heard of it because, I've heard he's thinking with his third leg or his
Yeah.
dick. Like
Yeah.
when we say third leg, we all know what the third leg is.
Yeah. But she said the kitchen. And I'm like, I've never heard that. I didn't even Google it, but I've
I
never
didn't
heard
Google
that.
it either. I've never heard of it either.
Yeah.
I
But
wish
that's
that he
what
had
she
got.
was
I wish.
referring to. And I do think that now that I think about it, just in hindsight, like right this second, that really does seem right, doesn't it?
But I don't. The reason he didn't choose Ellen. So when people
Ellen
say,
left.
"Well, right, right," no, no, Ellen didn't leave. He had her leave. He didn't give
Oh,
her,
he did. That's right. She
so
didn't leave.
he didn't leave. No, she wanted to stay with him. But you know, you've heard this saying with that somebody looks good on paper. Like I'm sure there
Oh,
have been
yeah.
guys and girls that you've wanted to fix your kids up with, and you're like, this look, he's this, and this, and your kids go, but no, ew, I like this girl or guy over here
Yeah.
because this is what lights me up. This is what turns me on. And you know what? Cannot, you can't get away from that. You can't hide that feeling.
True.
It's
And like April said, there has to be a sexual
chemistry.
um connection.
Yeah. Well, she was really, really high on the sexual connection, and I think what she was also trying to say, not really taking away from her, but that there needs to be chemistry.
Yeah.
I think, she wasn't physically attracted to Gary. And then given his personality, that she wasn't playful. Like she must have said 5 times, I'm very playful. I love to do this. I like Taylor Swift. He likes Dean Martin.
Yeah.
It could work if the chemistry was there, but it just wasn't.
Yeah.
But I liked hearing her say all of those things. And then when she was talking about Teresa, this is the last thing we're going to say about this, about Teresa, is that she said Teresa did talk a lot. And like, we didn't even see half of what she said.
Yeah. So we now know that.
Wait, and she also said, what we said was, I don't know if she's brilliant
Oh yeah, she
or,
said you said, yeah.
stupid. Right.
Yeah.
Brilliant
She's either
mastermind.
brilliant or what? Oh, she
I
said, I don't know how high her IQ is.
yeah, yes.
She's either really smart or what was the other word? I can't even remember what she said.
No,
Shoot.
I don't remember either, but I think she said a brilliant like mastermind or something.
Mastermind. Yeah. She's either brilliant or she's the mastermind at, yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And so we really love April. I still think she might be a good golden bachelorette, but who knows? We'll see.
I think she'd be a great one.
I do too. I think she would bring a lot of fun. All right,
Okay.
so we've got the hometowns now.
Yes. So the first thing Gary said that caught my eye, this is one thing he said that I thought was good. He said, which he didn't do, I only want to say I love you to one more person in my lifetime. I've only said it to one person. I only want to say it to one more person in my lifetime. And then he said it to 2 people.
He did.
Dumbass.
I felt like, well, we'll get to her.
Okay.
We'll get to Faith. Let's go in the order, and we'll give our. So he first goes to New Jersey to Teresa, and right away, I didn't get the feeling that I didn't feel it. Like when he embraced her, when he was like there, and she's like, "I'm so happy, I'm so happy." I did not feel it at all.
I didn't either. And she talked it into his head.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah. I did like her daughter. I thought she was very sweet
love her
and
daughter.
caring, but I just didn't think he didn't he didn't even react really.
I felt bad when, and I'm glad the daughter, who was so lovely, asked him, "Are you falling in love with my mom?" And he said, "I don't know."
Yeah.
Did he say, "I don't know," or "It's too early to know"? I think he said, "I don't know yet."
Or I don't know if that's what these feelings are.
He said, "I
Like I
don't know."
haven't felt this in a long time.
Did he say that?
I think so. But it may have been that may have been what he was saying to Faith's family. But he finally said, "But I do." So I don't know. I can't remember what he said. He did say he wasn't sure. So
No,
about hers.
I didn't get it. I felt really bad. Her sisters were so sweet. They looked like
Hmm.
twins, didn't they?
They did, but they were. That's a strong. It was kind of a strong family, not in a bad way,
No,
but in a they all sort of finished each other's sentences sort of way, just like Teresa does everyone else's. Like
right.
even tonight, Gary couldn't finish a sentence without her going, yeah, yeah. But
I
moving
didn't
on,
notice that. Yeah, I didn't notice that, but it was giving me the squirmies, that I she was really pushing it, and I felt him backing away, but feeling badly because he's meeting her family and the grandkids, and they were adorable. Like her family was lovely, like
yeah,
lovely. They nice home, everything. And the daughter, she just has the one daughter.
I think so.
Yeah, no, she was really, really sweet, and I felt bad that she got so emotional towards the end. But I think I would have gotten emotional too.
Yeah.
I could see my daughters getting emotional as well. Um, but I just didn't feel it there at all. I thought it was kind of lackadaisical, and I think he was going through the motions.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he couldn't say it. He couldn't say it, which was good. I was like, he's going to save it for one person. And he didn't.
I was really happy he didn't say it. I felt like, oh, Gary, you're going to say it because you feel badly. And
Yeah.
I'm so glad that he didn't. But he really, I was wondering if her daughter was going to say, when Teresa told her daughter, yes, I'm in love with him. I think that I would have wanted my daughters to say, Mom, I asked him if he was in love with you, and he said he didn't know.
For
And
sure.
I wish that her daughter had told her that.
She may have, and they may have cut it out because maybe she didn't have a good reaction or something. I don't know. Because she has it towards the end of the show. She was saying things that I thought, well, that's kind of not like her when she said, oh, he has a connection with these other ladies. I may go home heartbroken. The rest of the time, I felt like she has been manifesting what she wants to come to the end of this and saying it to him so he knows what to think.
Right, right. This is how you're going to think. Like,
Mhm.
like
I
I'm,
think
I'm
that's kind of
telling
how
you.
they work. Even her daughter said, she comes here every day and we're very close. And not that I'm my mom, she can make her own mind up, but how's that going to work?
No, I think she was very worried about like losing her mom to Indiana.
Yeah,
I think, yeah. I mean, that's a big difference. The East Coast to Midwest.
yeah,
I don't know. I can't see Teresa living the life that he has. He has a very active lifestyle from what we know.
right.
And I just don't see her. She just I don't see her doing it.
Teresa may be the one woman that comes off of all that group that we know anything about that doesn't get the memo. I can still go out there and find someone and I'm worth it and all that. I just kind of get that feeling about her.
What do you think? How do you think she's going to be? Because I think he's going to send her home.
I think she's just going to be really sad for a really long time, maybe not get over it, and maybe not. She's not, I don't think she's going to be out there dating a lot.
Well, we haven't heard anything from Ellen, and I feel that last week was really, really hard for her.
For Ellen,
She went quiet. I haven't heard anybody interviewing her.
that's true. She did say, I mean, the one little thing she said afterwards, we talked about last week about how she loved all the girls. She thought it was a great experience. But I think that I can't even remember where we read that. But that was it. Like, you're right. She didn't come out and do more. And yeah.
So maybe she's having a hard time. When he was talking to, I think he was talking to the sisters outside, and they were trying to get a feel for how he felt about her. And I don't, he said, she's so darling. I'm like,
Hmm. Yeah.
darling? I mean, I would never want a man to describe me as darling.
No, I swear, I think it's her little tiny petiteness that attracted him for some
Well,
reason.
he did say she's just kind of, she's,
She fits right here.
yeah, he said she fits like right here, like, those Polly Pocket dolls that we had growing up? Did you have a Polly Pocket?
No.
There were these tiny little dolls like this size, and I used to carry mine around in a locket. It's the locket was like this big, but it was little. You can bring it around. So I feel like that she's that Polly Pocket locket girl.
Yeah, and her sisters were like, "Oh, well, that's important." You could tell they were being sarcastic, I think. Right? Did you hear him
I don't
say
think
that?
they were. I don't think they were being sarcastic. I think they were just being
Cordial?
generous, cordial. Yeah, I
Okay,
think they were
because
just
I
being
was like,
cordial about it. I'm like,
well,
when I heard she's so darling, I wrote, what? Ew.
ew, you're not darling.
Ew. That is not a sexy thing. Um,
No, the thing about who somebody said she needs lip liner is so damn true. I can't stop thinking about it.
oh my God, right. She looks like she just rolled out of a bed with somebody, but her makeup did look good for hometowns.
It
I
did.
I thought she looked very pretty.
But she still does always look like she's been mugging with somebody in the corner.
Yeah, I don't know,
Yes.
something with her mouth.
Yeah.
Okay, so he says he would be proud to be part of her family, and she says she's in love, but he doesn't say it back to her. And I, again, really, really happy, Gary, that you stood by that and you did not say that you loved her, because I think that he really would have gotten himself in a big pickle.
If you told all 3 of them?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And there was a bachelor, Clayton. He told all the women, I think all 3 of them, got him into a lot of trouble. He told all 3 women that he was in love with them. Yeah, it was a problem. Um, he says,
It's kinda mean, it's really mean.
but then I wrote down, he finally says he thinks he's in love with her,
With
but he doesn't.
Teresa?
Yes, but right at the end, but he doesn't. He's like, yeah, I'm in love with Teresa.
Because Teresa told him. I'm telling you what. She said, "This is what it's
That's
gonna
a
work, and this is how it's
that's a
gonna
good
be."
one. I like him. Yeah, so he reluctantly says that. I don't, and they use that as a clip, so I don't know. I didn't like that. So then we go on to Faith, and it's very rural. She's in Washington State. She loves her sons. She loves her horses. I think she's a cool girl. Um, but I don't see her moving to Indiana. I She made it very clear that she loves her horses and her boys.
She did make it very clear, and I wonder if that's why at the end, that's how it went down. Because I about fell out of my chair when he gave the only rose to who he gave it to. I was like, "What?" That would have been second choice by far from what you thought about his feelings, so
I don't know, because after last week when he said to Leslie, "You're my girl," even though he had a great date with Faith,
yeah.
they seemed to be closer. I just felt that his deepest connection from last week was with Leslie when he said, "You're my girl." I think that was
I
his way to say, "I got you."
yeah. I can see that. I just felt like Faith's family. I loved her sister. I loved her boys. I loved the way they talked to him.
Oh my
And
God, I
he
loved
even
her
said to the
sister.
boys, "I love you. I love her."
Oh, right. Oh, wait, what?
He said to the sons when they said, "Do you love her?" And he was that's what he was saying. Well, I just don't know what this feeling is. And he was like, "You know what? Yeah, I do love her." And they were like, "Yeah,
I know, they were so cute.
yeah." And then when he said that to her on the sofa, when her sister said, "I can tell he really loves you," and blah blah blah, and she goes, "Did she just say that out loud?" And then Gerry said she did. Do you wanna say it or something?
Right, that's I thought that was very cute. So she said it first, she's like, "I love you," and then did she say, "Are you going to say it?"
Oh, he said, he said it to her first. He said, but he kinda whispered, he said, mouthed it a little bit. He said, "I love you," like that.
Oh,
And then
okay.
she said, "I love you."
I thought she said it first.
I'm pretty sure he did.
I'd have looked down for a second. Well, either way, he did
Yeah,
say
either
it.
way, they both said it, and then they both hugged and kissed in front of everyone.
Yes, I saw that, and I thought it was really sweet. Loved her friend, loved the sister. Love the sister.
And
Um,
I love that she has something that she loves. Like Ellen loves pickleball. I love that she has that connection with her horses. And no matter what, she wants to be there with her boys. And that's how it is. And, like a lot of people can have a relationship where they're married and they go back and forth and it's not a big deal. And even they spend some time apart, go together sometimes. Maybe you don't want to do that, but as you get older, it could probably change. But I don't know. All these women have family they probably don't want to leave.
right, right. But going off of what you just said about having a passion, right? She was very strong. I love my horses. I love my sons. I want to be here.
That was the first thing she said.
Right. Teresa, you don't, we don't know what she's passionate about. She didn't say, I need to be near my daughter. It was the daughter who said, my mom's here all the time. And she never said, I don't want to leave my daughter or my grandsons. I don't want to leave here. She doesn't seem to have anything else going on. And I would
No, and
not
I
have
don't think she
wanted.
can think for herself very well. But do you remember April said in the interview, Teresa thinks she's going to ride off into the sunset, move to Indiana, and live happily ever after with Gerry.
Well, and I think that if Gary picks her, she would do that in a second.
Yeah. And maybe that's why her daughter said that, because she knows her mom will leave.
Right. I think she does. I think she knows that her mom is really into herself. I don't know. We're making these assumptions here, but Teresa is a weirdo. Like she's definitely an oddball here, and I don't think he chooses her. I
You
don't
just
think
can't read her. We can't put, if we can't get her, we can't peg her down in any one way. We've kind of put her all over the board.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know if I anyway. I think that she says she's smitten, um, and I think yeah. So then they say they love each other. She was really sad when he left. She was crying when he left, when he took off.
Who? Oh, yeah, she did cry. I
She was
think she was crying though because she knows she. I mean, he was going to another place. How weird. Yeah. Okay. So the first thing he says when talks about going to see Leslie is he wants to meet the matriarch.
yeah.
Okay. You might say that about Ellen, maybe, but I don't see Leslie falling into the Leslie like the matriarch of a family does. I feel like Ellen, I mean, I love Leslie and I think but I feel like she's way too emotional to be the matriarch of anything. Am I wrong? Am I thinking it wrong? I'm kind of like,
No, I
why do
mean,
he say that of all people to her?
I don't know. I think he meant he just wanted to see her in her element, and she is the matriarch of the family. She is the woman, and she's the oldest woman. She is the matriarch. It doesn't mean
Yeah.
necessarily that she's the boss, even though the word matriarch makes you feel that way, but she is.
Yeah.
She's the head mama there. And we were just talking about the word mensch. Did you laugh
You
at
meant
how it
yes.
came up?
And through all that, so even as different as that probably was from any other hometown he'd been on, right?
Right.
She was very proud of that. She was very, very proud of who she was, where she's come from, and what her family is, and how all of them are very, like she even said, what did she say about her family is,
They all wore their heart on their sleeves.
yeah, but she was proud of that. Like, this is what we do, this is who we are. And and maybe she is a little more matriarch about her family than I think. And I'm going to protect that. Like, this is what's good for us. This is who we are.
Yeah. And I loved her relationship with her daughter,
Yes.
and how her daughter was looking out for her.
That she's my best friend. That was really sweet.
It was really, really sweet. And the boys, her sons, seemed to be very supportive. I mean, all the families seemed to be great. I can't
They
think.
have to, like her brother picking her up and saying, I'm your dad now.
I know,
Like, that gave me chills a little bit.
I know. 16 years old. So did her dad move away, or did he pass away? I know he
You think
passed away.
I got the vibe it may have been a suicide.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. Me
Like
too.
he went home and passed away.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's something I got too. Oh yeah, it made me very, very sad. And for the son, for her brother to go, I'm your dad now. Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I loved her brother.
Uh-huh.
I thought he was a mensch. And you know,
So tell everyone what a mensch is who don't know, because I just
oh,
learned that this past 2 years myself.
oh, you did. Okay, so you just learned it. All right. A mensch is a really good guy. So if you bring home a wonderful man, or you're married, or you have a friend that's a great guy, it goes to what a great man somebody is. It's just
But
all
it
around just a nice human being.
but it goes really deep into that. Like, it's a deeply great man. Not just he's a great businessman, he's going to
No,
be
it
a
has
great
nothing to
husband.
do.
It's
It
like,
has to do with their heart and soul
yeah.
and integrity, and doing doing good for others and being there for others. And
Yeah.
it's what you want for your children. You want them to marry a mensch, because you know that your daughters are going to be taken care of emotionally, and that no harm will come to them, which is what every mother wants for their daughter.
Yes.
But they can't take care of themselves, but it's nice to know that my
Someone has your back like that.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, exactly. Like when my mother met Frank, she said he was a mensch.
Oh, isn't that sweet?
I know. She's like, he's a real mensch. It's about damn time, Jody, I brought home somebody like this. I'm like, it's only taken me almost 60 years to do that. But I'm glad that she was able to meet him.
Yes.
But I loved all the ladies except for Teresa. I don't really care for her. I think the two favorites are going to be Faith. And so then after, go ahead. Go, you're saying something. Go ahead.
I don't know. I just read this next thing and I was like, that's right. It it seems like all three of those women, it seems like all the women on this show know how this kind of goes down. I felt like Ellen kind of fell hard and forgot about this.
Mhm.
That he's going to pick one and life goes on. So when he gets all upset at the end, it makes me go back to that whole thing of he's a love bomber and he thinks he's going to devastate for the rest of their life who he doesn't pick. And that makes me think it's all about him again when really freaking just do it and move on. It's I growing up my dad had a lot of clothing stores and I would be really upset when he would fire someone and he said I did them a favor because if they're not doing their best job and really working hard, they're not happy here. So now I've freed them to go find the job they really want.
Well, that's a really nice way of thinking about it. It's like being in a relationship and you're not happy. More than likely, what your dad had said was more than likely, if you're in a marriage or any kind of relationship, I was just talking about this on Fearlessly Authentic yesterday, and you're in a relationship and you're not happy, more than likely that other person isn't happy either. So one of you has to have the balls to say, this isn't working, or how can we fix it? And I'm sure your father, as a businessman, said, how can we fix this? Okay, it can't be fixed. I'm going to let you go because clearly this isn't working. So, yes, that's a very, very reasonable way and non emotional way to think about it, because he wasn't in love with these people he fired. But that's the hard
True, but think about this Gary's job all these years. Look what he's done.
right.
Exactly this. So why does he feel like he's got so much control over these women?
I think I think that he really cared about them. I really do. I also think that he doesn't want to hurt anybody's feelings. And breaking up with somebody is really hard to do, as the song goes.
It is, except for I feel like, man, he never said it to Teresa. I don't know why he picked. I'm just surprised he didn't pick Faith first. Like it was almost cruel not to pick Faith first. I felt like I don't know
It was
why.
50. It was 50-50. I didn't know if he was going to pick Faith or Leslie, but I knew it wasn't going to be Teresa.
Yeah.
But
So I feel like now it's like
the
it
fact
almost makes me.
right, the fact that he picked Leslie right out of the gate, boom,
Yeah.
Leslie. Then if who's ever picked is going to be like, yeah, I'm just the consolation prize. He's got to pick a second. That's how I would feel. I'd be like, fuck it, I'm out of here. Go ahead, Leslie. That's how I would feel.
And actually, maybe he's doing her a favor because even if he ends up picking her, she's already preparing herself for the worst.
Yeah.
So that's probably like so poor Leslie. She got picked first, and she even pointed out. Did you notice that Leslie said to? Oh my God, what's the guy's name? That's the host,
Jesse,
Jesse. She said to Jesse, "He told me he loved me,"
I heard that. Yeah.
but Faith didn't say that. She kind of said it. She said, "I told him, and he reciprocated." So maybe you're right. Maybe she did say it first, but it wasn't like that. He's the one that said, "Do you want to say it?" He's the one that brought it up.
Well, we have to go back and watch it again because we're telling you guys, everybody who's listening, that I think she said it first.
But he said, "Do you want to say it?"
He did say, "Do you want to say it?" And she said it first, and then he said it.
Okay.
That's what I think. I think he said, "Do you want to say it?" And she's like, "I love you," and he's like, "I love you." Right?
Yes, but it was very much like they both really meant it.
I felt like he meant it, but I felt like he really meant it with Leslie, because when he told Leslie he loved her, he did not. He was not prompted at all. That was what
That's true.
Leslie
But
says.
he
I'm
had her
in
up
love
against
with
the
you.
wall like he wanted to have sex with her.
Right. And Leslie says, I'm in love with you. I said I was falling for you, but I'm in love with you. And then right back, he says, I'm in love with you, or I love you too. He said it right back, no prompting whatsoever. She was the only one who wasn't prompted. So he said about Teresa, I don't know. With Faith, I felt he was prompted a little bit.
Okay.
I do think that he does love Faith, but I think he might be in love with Leslie. I think Leslie has the whole package. She's very young at heart. Um, and I think, and she's also from the Midwest. She lives in Minnesota.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that helps. Those two are closer, right? Minnesota and Indiana. We can't go back to we have to look at a map.
Yeah.
And
And but she also, and she didn't give no one said who's moving where.
oh, right. She didn't say anything about that. Where so we knew that Teresa would like go wherever Gerry went. That wasn't even a discussion. Faith was like, I don't
Not
know.
going.
And then Leslie didn't say anything, but I got the feeling that she would leave and she would make it work
Yeah.
with the families.
I mean, she said she was close to her boys, but yeah, you could tell she was close to her family. But I
I
mean, that would be a given. If you fell in love with someone and he was truly a nice person, you would figure out how to make it work.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to at this point in your life. I mean, unless he wanted to pick up her entire family and move them to Indiana.
Your entire adult family with their own families.
I mean, you can't
Yeah.
obviously. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it would be hard, and I mean, I could understand that. I don't have any grandchildren now, but I guess if I lived close to my daughters and their families, it would be very hard to pick up and move elsewhere. But on the other hand, it is her life, and she is getting older, and clearly, all of these families want to see their mothers, their sisters, um, be happy and fall in love. They all
Yeah.
loved Gerry. He makes a good impression.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's get in. So you were as shocked. No, you weren't as shocked as I was at the end.
When he
Picked when he picked Leslie first.
I wasn't like I said, I thought it was gonna be 50-50. I thought it was
Yeah.
Faith or Leslie. I wasn't when he gave Leslie the rose, I wasn't shocked at all. I'm like, "Oh, okay. He just said I love you, wasn't prompted. That makes sense. It's Leslie's his number one." And
Yes.
but I was shocked that he didn't give out the other rose, like, that they left us with that cliffhanger.
No, do they always do that?
I don't think so. No. I was like, "Oh, come on. You gotta give this to us." So we have to wait until next week to see who he gives the rose to.
But they don't normally do that.
I don't think so.
Okay.
No, I don't think so. But there's always something that comes up. There's always some drama. It's always very dramatic towards the end. I don't even know what our superlatives would be this week
I
because
know, that's why I was looking to see. Okay, so I for the best style, I really don't think Faith got it because I didn't like what she was really wearing.
I didn't either.
And so I'm gonna have to say it was Leslie because she had on this cute little
Like the white jeans.
and this little one point she had on a little vest.
Did she?
It was pretty cute. Oh yeah, she had on like a little jumper.
I believe it or not, I thought Teresa looked really good. To me, I thought she looked the best. And then second
But
was
what about her style and all?
Teresa's.
Yeah.
I mean, I just thought she
Like
looked.
Faith always dresses with a very low cut, sort
Yeah,
of.
she does. She does.
Mhm. And when she shows her arms, she's got great arms. Like,
I
yeah,
didn't care for Faith's style. I like Leslie's style, but I just thought Teresa, to me, I liked the way she put herself together for the hometowns.
okay. You like Teresa, and
Which
I liked
so
Leslie,
which is so odd because I
which is so odd because
Leslie everything Leslie does. And then what else do we have?
friend worthy.
Ah,
I think that now we're down to the personality type.
yeah.
So it definitely wouldn't be Teresa. So it would be one of the other girls. I did like both of them in their element, but I felt like Leslie has this little bit of a dark cloud over her head when she talks sometimes.
Yeah, there's like something I liked Faith. I liked Faith in her hometowns. I thought she was very warm to Gerry. Not that Leslie wasn't, but that, she wanted him to get on a horse. Like I just thought she really wanted to bring him into her life.
Her world, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, she did.
I
She shared her world for sure.
she did. So you know, between what she shared with him last week about her childhood and then bringing her into her home with her family, and her family was so welcoming to him. There was just a lot of warmth there,
Hmm.
right? So,
Okay, who do you think the next Bachelorette will be based on the today's show? Because last week we both said April,
yeah,
and I still feel like April is the bomb. And Susan, but if we had to pick between the three, it's going to be between the two who didn't get picked in the end, correct?
it's usually towards the end. So I would say
And it can't be Teresa. She's just too mousy.
it won't be Teresa.
So it's either got to be Faith or Leslie at this point. And we think it's going to be. Do you think it's going to be Leslie that goes home with him then?
I do.
So let's say Faith would actually be really good.
She would, but she strikes me as sort of shy. So I
She
don't
did more at the beginning. Now we see more of her personality.
know. No, I would love
But she's also she seemed to be more of a loner through this whole thing.
this.
She wasn't hanging out in groups. It didn't feel like. Maybe we missed it
No,
all.
no, I didn't get that she was part of a group, and I didn't get the feeling that Leslie was part of a group either. And I think I would have played it the same way. I would have, and I said that from the beginning that
Yeah, you did.
I would be nice to everybody, but I would like pretty much stay to myself. Like when I competed in fitness shows, when I was backstage and all the girls were like helping everybody with their makeup and their spray tans and their glue butt and all that other stuff, and I would just be like, just on my own, looking at my
Yeah.
phone, just in the mode. It's just like staying to
Focus.
myself,
Focus.
really focused. And I think that's what they did. I think once they found, they realized that they have a connection with him, that it was a mutual attraction. I don't think they wanted to get involved in any of the bullshit in the house, like the whole Askin group. I don't think they
Mhm.
wanted to be involved in any of that crap. They were nice to them, and that's it.
Okay. And also with that said, I can't see them traveling around and doing things with any of the groups. Like the Asking girls, yes. And a lot of the other girls. I could see Ellen doing it. I could see a lot of the other girls joining in on any groups. And I feel like. But I couldn't see any of those three that were left.
Neither could I. Is that funny?
Yeah. And maybe Gerry needs that. Like it's like I have a sister who her whenever she's married, that's like her best friend. That's her world. That is her world. And she's never really hung out with her girlfriends and stuff. It was him always. And I think that's some guys like that. Like it's my world. Yeah. And I feel like Gerry needs somebody in his world. Yeah.
I think you're absolutely right. They were very focused on him. And one of the things he said, something that we've talked about throughout this entire thing, was at the beginning somebody asked him, I don't remember, what is it that you love? What is it about my mom that you like
Oh.
about Teresa? And he said, I like the way she looks at me. Right, gag me. Right, gag me. I'm like, really, Gerry? Are we still talking about how she fucking looks at you?
And
So
makes you feel, and that's
yes,
the one thing you like about her.
yes. I
You
write,
couldn't say, I love her personality. I love her sweet smile. I
yes,
like her cute little body. Anything would have been better than she makes me feel really good.
I like the way she looks at me. Gross me out, man. And then he says, she's so darling. Yuck, 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 vomit. Okay. Don't use
Yeah.
that as a clip. That would not be a good clip to grab. Yuck, yuck, vomit.
I
By the
take it
way,
you don't want to ask Teresa to be on the show.
no, probably not. Probably not. We're
She's
working on it.
probably super sweet. Her daughter is super sweet.
I'm
We're
sure
being
she is. I'm sure she is. All right, so we have Friendworthy, and then what do we have? Best Bet.
Squirmworthy. Squirmworthy. I miss Squirmworthy.
Yeah, Squirmworthy was definitely Teresa in the whole, like, when he was trying. No, it was when he was trying to answer whether or not he was in love with Teresa. When this daughter asked, I was like squirming because it took him so long to answer it. And if I were the daughter, I would have said, like, clearly you're not in love with my mom yet. And I don't know if it's going to happen. But
Yeah, I agree. The whole time he was there was a little cringe worthy.
it was very cringeworthy. So I would say maybe the whole Teresa visit, but that particular question. I felt bad for the daughter. I'm like, oh, Gary. And what did you think? You thought that
I'm with you on that. The whole scenario with that was squirm worthy. So I missed Best Flirt also, and I don't even know if I could say who Best Flirt was on here. I mean, maybe Leslie because she's a big kisser.
I thought Faith was very flirty this hometown.
She was leaning over and kissing him on the horse and all that.
Right. So I would say best flirt goes to Faith this for this
And best in bed. You know, I have to say, Teresa always looks like she just wants to go to bed with him,
she does.
doesn't she?
She
And
does.
that's probably what he is attracted to him.
Totally. She's the one where he said, lick the frosting off my face because it was her birthday, remember?
Yeah.
Um, I would say best in bed. I've said this every week. I still think, I don't know.
You said so Leslie last week, April the week before.
Yeah. I still got the same vibe. I would say Faith or Leslie. They were, if I had to
Yeah.
choose one from this episode, I would have to say that Faith was putting it all out there. And not in a bad way, in a lovely way. You know, I just felt like she was being more
That was the different. You go ahead. Sorry.
I just felt like she was being more assertive. She was letting him know. She was just being more demonstrative and touchy feely. And I liked that for her.
Yes, and but was saying that. Did you know? Even at the end, she kind of said, you know, if it works out or whatever. But the person who did that the best was Leslie. Whereas Teresa was like, "This is how it is. We're good together. We need to like this is going to be how it is."
Right.
Leslie Faith was like I like she really wanted it to work, and then Leslie was like, "Whatever it is whatever it will be." Kind of that's the sort of vibe I got towards the end, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Didn't she say something at the end like no pressure or what she?
I thought that was more Faith.
Oh, maybe it was Faith.
I
Okay.
think it was more Faith, where
Well, I
she,
admired that.
me too. Me too. I think it was Faith who was like, look, like whatever happens here happens. And yeah, she was very, like, she let him feel like, you know how I feel about you, and just, make the decision that's best for you. And obviously, I hope it's me, but, she wasn't like Teresa at all. And I don't think Leslie, I think, was just excited to see what happens. I felt like it was just giddy feeling. And I felt like they really had the most chemistry. I felt like he was kind of
Faith or Leslie?
Leslie. I
Leslie.
felt like he let his
Yeah.
guard down. I don't know. I just got an overall feeling. That was just the feeling I got. So I'll be surprised. See
Yeah,
how.
it will be a surprise at the end on which of those he picks because I think it'll get down to those two. But
Yeah, I can't wait. Um, any other lasting thoughts on this episode?
I wish Gary would stop crying.
Yeah, I know that annoys the hell out of you.
Yeah. I mean,
I was
stop.
saying to Frank, did your husband watch it with you?
No, he wouldn't play cards.
Okay. I said to Frank, when what happened? Something happened. I
Did
don't know.
Frank watch it tonight?
No, he was just listening.
Yeah.
Although I did catch him in the kitchen, like, oh, looking at it a little bit. I got like, oh, you like that, huh? And I'm like, what do you think? What do you think? He's like, I don't know. So I'm like, but I screamed at something. I don't know what it was. I think it was when he said he loved her, Leslie, and Frank's like, what? Like
Yeah.
that.
They can't just he that's the thing these got men this age are like you can't just say that to anyone. And he said it to two people.
And he's got to get over himself. Listen, you got to tell the girl, you got to tell one girl to go home. And I know it's really hard, but everybody who's the lead on this show has to do it. So
Yeah.
it's a really, really good show. I think the ladies are all, I mean, Leslie and Faith are great. So, bye-bye.
Yeah, whoever he ends up will be great. It'll be really interesting to see if he really does end up with them. We like for the long term. I will say Joe was listening to the April interview about the part where she said she would drop her panties.
Oh, right, right.
Yeah, he was like, "What? Did you hear that?" I was like, yeah, "That's so funny."
I know, she's adorable. She really is. I do think she would be a good pick for the next Golden Bachelorette.
She definitely has the spunk for it.
So next week is the Women Tell All.
Well, are they going to do the women tell all and then he's going to pick at the very end? Or are we going to get to see before the women tell all the next rose?
Wait, I sent it to you, so I don't remember. So I sent it to you.
No, but I mean, they still have to announce they didn't finish this show.
No, I know. Well, I know maybe it'll be at the beginning and then it will be Women Tell All.
Well, I hope because that will just be
Do you
frustrating.
have, do you have the oh, here it is. I have it. So
Okay.
hometowns, then Women Tell All next week, then Fantasy Suites, then Thanksgiving break, and then the 2-hour finale on 11:30.
Okay. When you said fantasy suites, does that mean both of them in one night?
No, that means they're going to be. He's going to have a fantasy suite with one woman one night, and then a fantasy suite with the other woman on another night, and then
Okay.
we'll go into the 2-hour finale.
Okay.
When they talk about their feelings and blah blah blah, and the families might come, and who knows? I don't know. So we have one, two, we have three more shows. So next week, Women Tell All. Ellen will be there, and the woman he kicks off the show next week, whether it's Faith or Teresa, will be at the Women Tell All.
Oh, so they do have to announce it first.
Yeah,
Okay.
so they'll probably show that.
I hope it. Yeah.
I mean, I have to be right about this, right? They can't go into Women Tell All. They have to show that whether Faith or Teresa is kicked off the show.
I think so too. But the advertisement they showed for it, I thought Kathy looked really pretty. She had on full makeup and
Oh
looked
my
really,
God, yes.
yeah.
What happens is they see what they look like on TV and then they get a glow up. I mean, I
She's
probably
like, I will not look like that again on TV.
she did look like hell a lot.
She did.
Anyway, this was so much fun. So we're gonna have next week is Women Tell All, and I love doing this with you, Kim. So we are on. You can find us on We're Golden Podcast. Share, rate, review with your friends, and you can find Kim at Content Kim, me at Jody Harrison Bauer. And until next week, stay golden, everybody, and thanks for listening. Bye.
See you next week. Bye.